right, finally let's make a chart for 2 dimensions. So I'm going to rename this one before we lose it. We'll call this discount by profit. Let's make a new worksheet. And this one we're going to grab to, let's do, I think I like region again. Actually, product category, let's start with that one. And then let's go with region as our rows. So what we get here is a table that shows each of our options here, or each of the possible values for both of those. But in the middle, we've got nothing. So it just puts ABC because it doesn't know what we want there. We still need to give it some sort of value to sum up in the middle. Well, typically when we're doing categorical to categorical analyses, we're doing what's called a chi-square analysis, which you might learn about later on in this book if you're doing this as part of a book. But what that means is we're going to count up the number of occurrences of a sale, including furniture sold in the central region, furniture sold in east, or supplies sold in the south, and we're going to count up the number of each of these occurrences in this list. So I'm going to click this out and notice I get this text table and no other options here. It's not quite sure what to do with that. That's okay. Here's what we'll do. We simply need to pick some measure, or sorry, we need to pick some dimension, or really it could be either a measure or dimension that doesn't have any null values in it that we want to count up. Now in this particular data set, I know that none of the values are null. However, this is one case where it might be useful to use an ID. For example, order ID, we could count that up because we know that those primary keys would never be null or empty. So we've gone through and hidden all of those. We could go through and show the hidden fields and use one of these again. So for example, I could put something like order ID in here. Oh, but it won't let me drag it. You know why? Because I have to unhide it first. Now I'm going to not show the rest of the hidden ones, but put order ID in here somewhere. And I'm going to say, yes, add all members of order ID, but I'm going to change order ID to a count. All right. So now I get this weird thing where it's counting up the number of orders across the different regions, but then separating it by category. That's not what I want either. I mean, that works, but this is essentially just a bar chart here of region against count broken up by category. I was trying to create a count table by category and region. Well, notice if I go here to show me, it's automatically changed me to this bar chart. I just need to go back to this text table again. And in fact, I could convert that to something like a highlighted table or a heat map. And now what I get is a visualization indicating how big these counts are. So I've got the most orders of office supplies in the west. The smallest looks like it's technology in the south. Now, I don't know why it's trying to make this as small as possible. I could break that out further. Oh, but that just breaks it out by state. I don't necessarily want to do that. So hoping to stretch that out. Oh, here we go. There we go. Now I can see each of my regions. I think I like this one the best. So this is a heat map over a count table, or cross table. There's a variety of names for this. But this is how we typically visualize dimension to dimension relationships, or categorical to categorical. So I'm going to change this name to region by category. There we go. And let's see if there's anything else we want to add to this. We've covered, we haven't covered size yet, but I'm going to use that in another video. We have detailed color, label. This is useful, but I'm going to save that for another video too, and toolbar. I think let's call that good for this one. This is, the best way to visualize categorical to categorical relationships.